so fantastic for me to come out and visit these ponds.
When we first showed up, there was none of this was here, obviously, and it was the blank canvas to work with.
The aeration, the way that this pond was built, or this pondless waterfall was built, allowed these fish to live year-round. Beautiful garden. I'm Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy. This is my channel, Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy, and it's all about showcasing how people live the aquascape lifestyle. Jack Pasinski, you built this pond, right?
Yes, I did.
Young Jack Pasinski built this. We came out here to vlog it a year or two ago, but it was 100 degrees and 100% humidity. Today's a beautiful day. Chris!
Hey, Greg.
I'm back on a little bit nicer of a day.
All right.
How much damage did you have from that storm last night?
Oh, not too much.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, I remember the last time I talked to you, you were thinking about putting goldfish in this deep stream. I kind of discouraged you to do it. Did you do it?
I did it.
Okay.
Even got some koi in there.
Did they live?
They lived through the winter.
Okay, don't listen to me. Don't listen to my advice, you know. But tell me about this. So you got a deep stream, but you were able to keep koi that lived in the wintertime. This is so beautiful, buddy.
Hey, oh, yeah. Thanks.
Oh. So fantastic for me to come out and visit these ponds. Now, how long ago did Mr. Pasinski put this in for you?
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. About 2 years ago.
Oh, you know
yeah,
what?
two.
Look, okay, 2-year-old Aquascape ecosystem pond, and look at how filled in it is already. Are those purple coneflowers? Look at the size of these things. They're obviously spent, but huge. This thing looks like it's always been here. Mr. Pasinski, why don't you go ahead and give us a walkthrough of what you actually did here?
Yeah, so we came out here. When we first showed up, there was none of this was here, obviously, and it was the blank canvas to work with. So obviously we came down, we built, I think it's a 3,000 gallon basin, I believe, sitting down in the bottom that feeds this entire system. When we came out here, it was at the end of the year, and it was freezing cold. There was a couple days we had to stop because it was so cold. So it's kind of nice to come out here and see it all filled in and everything. This was an awesome project. I love how we incorporated a bunch of the spill bowls.
I love that giant stone bridge over that.
So we actually have that stone bridge, and then we have an informal pathway coming across the headwaters up on the top to see a good view of the waterfalls.
Who's this guy?
That's
look,
Oliver.
Look, and he's drinking. Is that Oliver's bowl?
Yeah.
Oliver, you like that? Oliver looks like an old guy.
He is.
He's like us.
That's right.
How old is Oliver?
He's about 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little over than that.
Even older than us.
Yeah.
In dog years. But all of this is new since they built the pond, right? This
right.
was all part of your
Yeah.
just investing in your property and everything else. What's it been like living the aquascape lifestyle? Because, I mean, this is a pretty dramatic change in your art.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been great. I enjoy coming out here at night because that's when the fish tend to swim around.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're hiding during the day, and then I feed them at night.
Uh-huh.
So I enjoy that interaction.
Now, this is crazy to me. The deepest part of this is what, 12 inches, Jack?
Yeah.
And yet you were able to have fish that lived year-round in Chicago.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
So for every rule, there's an exception. So 24 inches deep is what we typically say, but obviously with the water movement, you had an aeration device, you had a heater in there, you were able to keep fish in 12 inches of water in the winter in
yeah,
Chicago.
well, we'll see if it happens again. I didn't use any aeration. I kept the spill pots going.
That was the aeration.
Most of the time, but then I shut them down when it got really cold. It would freeze up sometimes.
But the fish went to the bottom?
But the fish went to the bottom, and they hung out, I think. They mostly hang out under the bridge, back by where one of the pillar supports is, and the ice didn't get too deep, and they did just fine.
That's amazing. 12
Yeah.
inches in Zone 5 Chicago.
Yeah.
And even in Zone 5 Chicago, you're never going to get more than 8 inches of ice because the earth insulates it up. So the deepest part, you're going to get 8 inches. In 4 inches of water, these fish lived. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Hey everyone, it's Jack with Team Aqualand. Aquascape, I'm gonna give you guys kind of a walkthrough on this gorgeous feature. All right, so right here we have our big basin that sits roughly in this area right here. We disguised it very well. It's a small little Babbley Brook style waterfall coming down into this area. You really can't see a whole lot of it just because of how lush the plants are that he has put in. We did not put any of the plants in, so it's definitely cool to come out here, see the feature, see how everything has matured, and it looks amazing out here. But as we continue on from this waterfall, I love how this turns and almost makes a 90-degree turn underneath this bridge here that we installed, and that water is a good inch below the top of the bridge, so it looks really cool at night. We highlighted this with a couple 3-watt lights shining in either direction coming underneath the bridge, but then this leads to the beautiful pool deck that he has out on the other side. So I love how these spill bowls kind of interact. You have 2 here, and then we have a fire spill bowl sitting off to the side, but I love the curves and how much action is in this area. Granted, the flow is not moving pretty fast, but I love the rock work and how well it kind of serpentines throughout this small little area right here. From that patio there to this patio here, I think we're only working with 15 to 20 feet, so definitely a small, tight area to kind of work with, especially with how big these rocks are, but we fit the space very well, and it looks absolutely amazing. Granted, the plantings are only 2 years old, so it's going to take a couple of years for everything to really fill in, but I can tell that everything is kind of starting to get established, and it looks amazing. When we do these deep stream areas, we love to change up the elevations of the stream and then the gravel, so you can see how we have small gravel down at the base of that waterfall, and then as the water slows down, we have a bunch of this large gravel that got deposited right here, and then we kind of mixed it in here and there throughout the entire feature. So I love when we can add texture to the bottom of the pond, because it just adds more character and makes it more natural. But as we come on over to the waterfalls, you can notice that we have this informal stepping area going across, so we wanted multiple ways of getting across to the pool deck, because when he has parties, obviously if you have one way in, one way out, it's going to kind of get congested. So by us throwing these massive stone steps in, you kind of get to be able to walk, interact with the stream, and get a gorgeous view of how these waterfalls look. They did an amazing job on putting up these waterfalls. I just love how it was all layered in, and I love the moss and the plants growing out of all the plants. Well, after seeing this, you guys might be wondering how much this feature costed for us. Now, just the rock work and the spill bowls, none of the plantings or anything like that. It started off at $50,000, and then we added a couple upgrades. So something like this, you're looking at $50,000 and up, depending on how many upgrades you want to add to this and everything like that.
You know, old dogs can learn new tricks, and the fact that a 12-inch deep water feature has fish that were able to live in it year-round in Zone 5, which is cold. Zone 5 Chicago shows that for every rule, there's an exception to the rule. The aeration, the way that this pond was built, or this pondless waterfall was built, allowed these fish to live year-round. I do these vlogs to inspire people to live the aquascape lifestyle, and also to learn about what living the aquascape lifestyle is all about. If you're interested in doing just that, check out the link below to find a certified aquascape contractor by you. I love my job.